This reaction is brought to you by my $5 or more supporters at coffee.com/Alex Haitz. I'd like to thank Andreas Glasel, Lukash Newman, Jag, Isidro Perez, Thin Ezzy, Willman, AJ, and Ben Thrifty for sponsoring this video, supporting me and my family, the channel. I appreciate it immensely, and I hope you all enjoy this video. You'll all be happy to know that I am doing the Love Island Punch Pop from Poppy. 5 grams of sugar, probiotics, Love Island. I don't even know. I don't know. We're doing more Mount Eerie today. That's what I do know. Welcome back, everyone. It has been quite a while since I've recorded one of these. I've been busy. Schedules have been changing all around and things getting in the way of things. The last Mount Eerie that we did was back in April, and it's now June. So there's that. Been like, what, a month and a half or so? But we have done like plenty of live reactions. We did Unwound's Repetition kind of mixed in as well. That was a poll album we did last, and that was back in May. So, you know, it could be way worse, is all I'm trying to say. Been listening to a lot of Pinback, though, and that's been freaking stellar stuff. But today we will be doing part 1 of this most recent album from Phil, and kind of a bittersweet set of videos to be making here today, because this in part 2 will be the last, at least for the time being, the last normal reactions I do like this on YouTube, where I have like my HD camera, I have the, you know, the artwork right here with the name of the band and album, and then the song title at the bottom. Because I'm going to be moving to doing more like live streamed reactions on Twitch. Kind of trying to get my footing on doing it that way, and then I can provide the albums unedited to everybody, rather than having to do edited stuff here on YouTube because of copyright issues. But as you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title of this video, this is going to be unedited, though. I've made the conscious effort to be finishing off these videos with Mount Eerie because I can post these ones unedited, and it seems to be okay. So yeah, very excited to get to this one today. For those who don't know, I do unedited reactions on my Coffee page. Like I said, I'm moving towards doing completely unedited reactions, but there are a handful that are edited on YouTube but unedited on the Coffee page. And I believe it's 175 to 200 albums, something like that. So if you want to get access to that back catalog until I'm able to figure out ways to post it on YouTube, because I'd like to not have it behind a paywall. The paywall just helps pay for like Vimeo hosting and stuff like that to host these videos with their unedited copyright stuff. So if you want to get access to that back catalog, you can do that at $5 a month. You can also hop in at the $1 per month level, which will get you access to voting in polls that we do every 2 to 4 albums. Kind of breaks up the monotony of going through these like artist discography binges, and we get to interject random miscellaneous albums into the mix. So if you want to support the channel, that'd be the place to do it. Also, I'm going to shout out NordVPN for 2 more times, because I'm not going to be doing it anymore once I do live streams. But if you are in need of a VPN, I have an affiliate link down in the description for Nord. It is a great VPN with great speeds and great prices. If you're in need of one, check them out. Night Palasi. I don't know a whole lot about this album, actually. The Wikipedia page is pretty scant. And this is kind of like the first album we're going to be getting from Phil, I think, that kind of also is around like the after he started dating Indigo Free, I think is her name. I don't know. But it was also just off the cusp of 2019, I believe, is when they were divorced. Yes. Him and Michelle Williams. And in that time, he started dating Indigo Free, and you can see like pictures of them on his Instagram and stuff. And Microphones in 2020 didn't talk a whole lot about that. It briefly mentioned the divorce. So I don't know when they started dating, but I assume that like this is going to represent some kind of new area in Phil's life, as far as like I don't know, I want to see how much he reflects on death still. Because I can see that apparently Genevieve is how he says it. contributes humming on track B4, Blurred World, which we will be listening to today. Yeah, I don't know. I was very intrigued by microphones in 2020. We did a live stream reaction for that. Very drony, it's very interesting, but like it didn't quite stand on its own. It stood on its own 2 feet, just kind of outside of his typical canon. Really hard to explain, but I want to see where this kind of slots in as far as like vibe, how much of that older microphone sound might show through here, or if his arrangements are still going to be very sparse. I have no idea. We're doing 16 tracks today. In part 1, we're going from Night Palace up through Myths Come True. And I'm going to bring up lyrics so I can follow along, because that has been very helpful along the way. So I don't think I have anything else to add. I think we're going to go ahead and finish out this Phil Elverum binge with Night Palace. So here is the opener, the title track, Night Palace.
I saw lightning last night, but heard nothing. The whole half of the sky flashed a couple times, but no rain. No sheet metal rolling. Living close to the ground, I talk back to birds way more than I used to. A spirit world found. Outcast. Where belief blows away, I saw flashing, I saw plumes of smoke. I put the kid to bed. I washed dishes in the night. Nobody learns like me at the sink, looking out on the world. This lightning inside, and the love of the last of the light. And so what if no one ever finds this notebook?
Hey, he kept his silence much shorter this time. Good job, Phil. Solid start. Very very droney. Still leaning on that drone. Which I don't like. I struggle with his drone work sometimes. Like that's kind of why microphones in 2020 was a bit of a difficult pill for me to swallow. Cause like drone usually equates like, is related to like very slow, contemplative, atmospheric kind of listening. But he also does very like eclectic, interesting stuff over drone. And that's a bit of a like, friction for me. Like I've talked about like the stiff, rigid IDM percussion with the more like ambient synth being like some friction that kind of rubs me the wrong way. Or just like it's like eating pickles and peanut butter, Some people love it. I don't. And I kind of struggle with that with Phil sometimes. I don't know what this album will be like in terms of the drone stuff, but this is definitely like nothing new. Really cool, interesting, like crackly, like electroacoustic noise in there though. That was kind of cool. Huge fire.
Trying to see from in this room where it is blinding. Learning to breathe beneath the surface of all the wrecked up things I haul with me around. I heard singing at twilight, trailed by belongings. I crawl forward into a clearing of dust. Got a huge fire going. It grew, night fell, and I kept throwing whatever I could pick up into the flames. Nothing but me and all this shattered wood I've been pulling into a heap of flames and smoke. This is my life. Now I've lived long enough to know that nothing's stronger than the blow, the whipping wind, the way it tears. The sparks are full in the sky on breath only very rarely song. You were singing at twilight with your fingers moving, and I'd heard the same song in a dream, and I sing it now to myself. I carry it into the night. I walk and there's a fire, but it's at my back. Still calls.
Very torn on that one. Like, yeah, like for a second I was like, is this Can? Did Can break in and get a hold of his bass? Yeah, really cool instrumentation there. I'm gonna be like completely honest and admit something, and it's not gonna sound very fair. It's just the way I feel. I'm getting a little fatigued with Phil's like lyrical content and like melodic choices. Um, he keeps operating in like a very similar lyrical vein and has done for like 20 years, honestly. And it's like, not that it's bad, it's just a lot of a very similar thing. And maybe part of that is just as I've gone through, his music. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I've been doing this for a year now, right? Haven't I been listening to, like, what was the first microphones? It was July of last year. So I've been listening to Phil for like a whole year. Very interspersed, albeit, but like, maybe that's just part of it, is that fatigue of like every time I've been reacting and like analyzing and thinking hard on music like this, not on a live stream. It's been Phil for the most part, with a few Pole albums mixed in. But I don't know. It's like him observing things and things happening to him while he's in nature. And I'm like, I've been down this road so many times with you before that it's hard to like see this in a very objective light, you know? So take that as you will, hopefully with a grain of salt. I'm not having a bad time. I'm just realizing like he's a creature of habit when it comes to his art. At least with the lyrics and the melody, and has been for almost 10 years at this point, easy. So that's that. Breaths is next.
Stop my working for a second, and in the little space between my breaths, I heard a small sound down beneath the blood rushing. Crouched and buried away in the basement of my life, I go downstairs in the dark, cold wind in the face, incomprehension between each breath I breathe out. There's a little moment of death, everything hangs, and then I draw air in again. Coming back to life, a flickering spark jumps sharp in my eye. I scan the horizon from the spot where I stand. Nothing returns. I give this and the next and the next and all the following breaths.
Wow. That was, I asked for variety, I got it, huh? Man, some of those like sounds, they almost sound like samples. It's more just like objects doing things. Um, Kind of reminded me of like the Mount Eerie title track. Like towards the end when like the vultures are talking and you hear what almost sounds like blinds opening or closing. I don't even know what that sound was, but very huge. It almost sounded like there was a microphone recording in an empty room, a completely silent room, and then he just applied like 20 decibels of gain to it. And it's just this crackly silence. Bizarre. The next track is Swallowed Alive. This one is gonna scare me.
Swallowed by the lion, swallowed alive. He lived to tell the tale.
From an interview in Deep Voices. On Swallowed Alive, one of the heavy songs on the album, you have your daughter doing vocals. Was it purposeful in that quiet, loud way you're describing? And then he says, I knew that I couldn't scream as well as she could. We recorded that when she was 5. She's 9 now, but 4 years ago I had my recording stuff set up and I thought, this is a good time to stock up on some screaming. so I set up a 4-track for her, gave her a vocal mic, ran it through a huge bass cabinet with distortion on it, and let her cut loose while I played drums and recorded some cathartic screaming in our little house. It was just a recognition that she was the screamer in the family. Is she still the screamer? She's mellowed out. I've discouraged screaming since then. That's awesome. That's funny. I mean, sometimes it's like the whole, like, I've been told my skin feels soft or whatever, where it's like, sometimes he just has some fun. And I'm going to let him have some fun. I think he's earned a bit of fun in his life. Maybe just like an ounce. My Canopy.
Some affection is mercurial. I've gone in and out of favor with no footing. But my love for you, my child, is as permanent as sky. Breathe forever beneath the canopy of my life. Will you wade through winter's coals, illuminate your night? Salmon berries will return, and you are always in my eyes. I love you.
There's the silence. Enjoy it. That's probably my favorite so far, even though it was just like a minute. Still very similar chord choices and melodic motifs that he's done since like Crow, which, like, I'm not gonna complain a ton. It's just like, I get it. It's no you Swan Go On, but it's good. Broom of Wind. This is a notable one. I'm pretty sure this may have been a single as well. I'm really excited to hear this one.
life is worn to enough, I too will be swept up eventually. By the same thing I once came from, I too am a chunk broken off from the broom of wind. But for now I pass across the land, like everyone, a piece of wind, a little confluence, only the occurrence of a person.
Oh, it just cuts into I Walk next. Wow, now that's my favorite one so far. It had like that old like jangly guitar sound that you would hear in like the 60s and 70s that became so prevalent with like indie surf, you know? Cool. I was not expecting that. More of that, please, Phil. More, please. I've never heard a chord progression or guitar tone like that from you before, I don't think. Wow. I walk, 'cause you walk. I think I started to listen to this like a couple years ago, literally a couple years ago when this came out. But then I stopped because I realized like I'm probably going to listen to this down the road. So that moment is now.
Walking away, shedding slow the generations, the towns dissolve in my drumming footfall, discarded clothing on the ground. But I still carry it all. The air cool and blue, the livelihoods, the expectations, the cities of never stopping thoughts. So I just still walk, dragging through stone, piled alive with associations since old time trails. Snake that crawls through old skin sloughing behind me back into the mist. I walk until it's all falling away. Coming into a clearing, there's a pause between the breaths, and I look up. Mist-kissed face, vast grass shuffle, treeless place, expanse encircling, the sky on my lips, fog cold and
What a pleasant surprise. That's my favorite on the album now. Ah, quite good. The very like dreamy psychedelic like guitar atmospheres. Like Broom of Wind and I Walk are showcasing that like Phil at least still has that kind of um how do I put it? He's able to like conjure these atmospheres in these places. Like not since Wind's poem have I heard something that atmospheric from him with that much personality behind it that has something new to say. Like that could have been on Wind's poem, honestly. Cool. Cool. I dig. Soft Air is next. This is the last one on side A of these 4 sides.
I slept another few years. I saw the soft air come down. And blow into my lungs like.
Wow. That just made me think of that made me think of like a little guitar line. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick. I don't know why that just popped into my head as that was playing. I'm just kind of ripping him off at that point. Anyway, that was cool. Interesting way to end the first part there. And you know, that's what it feels like when you're a guy and you know, because guys like typically seem to like run hotter than women do, it seems. And it's like when you're a guy and you're out in the sun and a soft breeze hits you, that's what it feels like in the nicest of ways. Cool. Empty paper towel roll.
It's as if I'm looking at a corner of the sky through a cardboard tube. I'm impressed, seems huge. This is my idea of bottomlessness. Too small a slice of the night sky through an empty paper towel roll. Without even trying, I diminish infinity. Knowing that wide winds find me from a place I'll never know. I'm human, I know very little, and narrow my eyes. With my life so far and all its conditions, I squint at the sky. From in my narrow tunnel vision, my bruised up insides. Can I abandon this position? See beyond my little life. I sit and breathe slow at the end of the night. And finally the sun cracks over the hill. A brief glimpse through wide open air.
Lots of small ideas. I wasn't sure if this was like, I thought that this was going to be like a long album, but these are kind of short songs, all things considered. It's fun. It's interesting. I don't know. I've struggled with this on previous albums too, where it's like he has these songs that feel kind of throwaway-ish. They're just like interesting ideas and then they're gone. And I don't know how well they like contribute to the whole atmosphere of the album, especially when there's so much of it. I want to say that like No Flashlight suffered from that a little bit. There might be a couple others that I'm forgetting, um, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. Wind and Fog.
Wind and fog, one blowing one away, one coming back to crown the hill of our home. And in their play, I hold you.
Okay. You did it. Thank you. Thank you for that in my ears. I'm kind of noticing, like, I haven't quite pinpointed the like personality of this album yet, but it kind of feels like he's flexing a little bit. Like, I'm hearing ideas from all of the previous albums I listened to: No Flashlight, Lost Wisdom, Dawn, Wind's Poem, Clear Moon. Like, all of that is like shining through. Even like back to It Was Hot, We Stayed in the Water. I'm getting some like, it's like he's taking ideas from old things and just like making a better version of them almost. So in a way, this is kind of like a quintessential cumulative kind of work. But how does it compare to the things I've already heard? Because I've already heard them. And so it feels like he's treading old water. Treading old ground? Treading old water. That could be a line in a song. I'm treading old water. And then it just explodes. Because that's what he does. That's just what he does. We're in part 2 of Wind and Fog now.
startling while we look on. It clears the eyes. I cup the candle, and you can stay in my arms. I'll see you in the morning.
During the listening party for Night Palace, Phil said he was sick while recording the vocals for this track. I have done the same. I think there was a track or two on Dream Not of Technicolor Aliens, the second album I put out, where I recorded it sick because I liked how it sounded. I could be wrong. That may have been the first album. I don't remember. But interesting little, like, I got some vibes of like Wind's poem there again. The certain types of like, I don't quite know how to put it into words, but like I think of tracks like Between Two Mysteries and Wind Speaks. That's the other one. Gave me similar vibes to that, which I dig. There definitely is a stronger personality here. I was kind of worried in the first part that it was going to be like more of the same that I've heard for the last several albums, but it's staying consistently solid at the very least, which is all I can ask for. Blurred World. This is the one that has Genevieve's humming on it, whatever that means.
Because the turning of planets won't stop. My eyes have gone blurrier. I'm getting older still. Prescription worsening. And there are shapes in the sundown half-light. The wind is moving things. Just before sleeping, I notice lurching forms. Unfocused, I absorb. The air tonight is warm. The blurred world performs, and I'm just happily here in the dusk, myself just as blurry.
Go outside to piss into the night. Wow. Wonder what that like humming, I guess, sample was from. But very pleasant, very pretty. I like that. I heard whales, I think.
Walking slowly back and forth on a bluff along the water, seeing waves roll in the blowing, far from any other person. I swear, I promise, I heard, I did. I heard actual music riding on the wind, barely there, though it couldn't have been, 'cause I was definitely miles from any other people, and crashing water in my ears eclipsed everything. It sounded like
Sounds like a melody in the background. There it is.
It could have been whales, deep watching, doing their singing. It could have been some ancient shipwreck, still out there howling. Or it could have been science, just wind and waves and rocks and angles. Or my hallucination could have been the real thing. Something with no explanation, heard or not heard, inside of everything. There is music no one hears unless they quiet all the way down and lean way out over the edge.
Was that just like a pop song in the background? What was that? That was really cool. That was really cool. Probably second favorite behind I Walk so far. I like just the pause to like hear through like all of the static, that like creepy melody coming through. Very haunting. And there's something about like static as noise that I find it seems very like mechanical and rigid and lifeless, because it sounds digital, right? Like when you hear static, it's like, oh, that's a digital noise. But really it's like static is like just energy, electricity, like kind of overwhelming the thing that is recording or playing the sounds. So it's one of actually the most like, I don't know if I'd say organic, but one of the most like life-filled sounds you could imagine. A very strange thing to say, but I hope you get what I'm talking about. Cool. We seem to be kind of like closing out side B with a really strong chunk of songs here, and I'm digging that. I'm kind of, so far it's like the middle of the album that's been hitting me pretty good, with really cool bold song choices that are definitely like some of his best atmospheric work since Wind's Poem. I already said that, but it's continuing to be the truth. I saw another bird.
So what, I saw another raven. I actually see them all the time, and I hear their voices talking about what the rest of us don't know. I'm a fool on the ground below them, on my phone beneath the sky. But I know there's no one walking really through these dreams that I have. In the daylight I do all this work that needs to get done, and I leave the mind of night. I can't remember having crossed a threshold between the dust and the alive. So when a raven starts a conversation, I just stand there and blank out. reply.
I wasn't expecting that. That was like borderline power pop. Wow. Interesting chords, interesting melody. Um, didn't hit quite as hard as some of these other ones, but it was a nice little break tonally. That's kind of how I felt about Broom of Wind, where I'm like, oh, okay, sure, we can do this. I'm okay if we do this. Yeah, we have 2 tracks left. Jeez, this kind of flew by, surprisingly. I was a little concerned, like going into the recording, because I'm like, is this going to be a lot? In some ways, it has been, but in other ways, it's like the variety has kind of given me some room to breathe, and I appreciate it, Phil. I appreciate it. I spoke with a fish.
I told a fish what you see as a palace is running water. The fish said no. What you see as those mountains is flowing matter. I said, okay. And after our talk, I saw the wall of rock as a wave in the middle of breaking. A rock slide echoes across the gorge. My small perspective fading. And who am I but a blink of the eye? A stance that a river would take if it even wanted to pause. Music is a statue of a waterfall. A flashing glint on the marble where the eye once was. On a taxidermied marlin's frozen leaf. Without me there to see, rain begins to fall back into the creek. I told a fish, I like how you move through the water as one flowing muscle. The fish said,
I dig your style too, man.
Wait a second. Hold on. Was that from like... Was that from like The Big Lebowski? Was that a sample? Did someone say that actually? That was awesome too. I really dug that for a lot of reasons. I would say, so Phil talking about when the fish speaks, just using the fish as a foil for a source of wisdom, giving it a voice. Then I gave it auto tune and an 808 drum machine, just so it was like from another realm. Man, because that was giving me like Mount Eerie title track vibes, like when Death comes in and he does like a rap, and it's the most terrifying thing you've ever heard. Like hearing the fish talk like that was so jarring, and it's like it just further like speaks to that like divide we have between like perspective of a fish. Cool, really cool. I'm impressed. I know we have one track left, but I gotta say I'm very impressed with this so far. I was a little concerned at first, and it hasn't been perfect, but there's been a lot of cool stuff going on here that I haven't heard since like his mid 2000s stuff. So thanks, Phil. You're really doing it. Myths come true.
Returning home, Odysseus rides the ferry at night. I have finally returned to the end of our long road. There's been weather again, and there's debris on the mud beneath tires clawed down by a sky unloading. And I see a cutting reflection of something I don't recognize through the dark trunks. Go out into it to look. Technology, metal, an abandoned FedEx truck stuck in the mud where the stream overflows the ditch in storms like this. An empty omen, left out in the rain. Walk back to the house with no headlamp, just gravel and my animal brain. Here it is again, returning to the warm house from the wet night. I left one round light on in the top room, insistent blood symbols recur throughout my life, a glow mythology. Cyclops walks across the sky, one window glowing in the forest. Is there a song on the wind? I must have made myself this weekend. I must have known it would be like this. Belief slips into my thinking, and I know nothing at all. Myths come true.
Yes, they do. Do we have 10 minutes, 10 seconds this time? Oh. Oh. And now it's done. Well, I don't think that Phil is beating the krautrock allegations this time. No, sir. It's always fun. That kind of, drum line and a little bit of bouncy bass gives it some pep. When he broke into that last half, though, it's like, here we go again. Same chords, same melodies. Which, to some degree, it kind of like mirrors how he talks about how like all of his music is the same. Like he's said that in his lyrics, how it's like he's repeating the same things and like returning to these motifs and it's always the same, even though things have changed. And it's like, I get the overall, like overarching, like thematical, poetic thing he's trying to do with his music. It's just when it comes to the listenability, I am not fully in the Phil camp as much as other people are. I think it's kind of the takeaway. Like, the music has been super impressive, but when it comes to his like post-microphone stuff, it's been like Lost Wisdom mostly for me and Wind's Poem that I've kind of like come back to and listened to like intentionally. Everything else is either like too heavy, too ambiguous, you know, I don't know. But Myths Come True was an interesting way to end side B for sure, which was a very strong side, arguably way better than side A. So there's that. Anyway, that is the first half of Night Palace done. Better than I was hoping. Have low expectations and high hopes. That's what I always say. I always say that. I never don't say that. The favorites for me, I think, were I Walk, I Heard Whales, and I Spoke with a Fish. Those are the notable ones to me. I Saw Another Bird and Myths Come True get some shout outs. Huge Fire and Broom of Wind too. Yeah, there's a handful of like interesting little small ideas, but when it comes to big songs that actually like seemed like they had some heft to them, it would be like I Walk and Whales and Fish. So next time we'll be starting with non-metaphorical decolonization, which is such a thing. Kind of like when he right at the tail end, was it at the tail end of Now Only where he, or no, tail end of Crow, where he just randomly brings up like politics, I think, which he's allowed to do. I'm not gonna slap his little soft skin cheek. Cool. Well, we're probably gonna take at least, you know, like our typical week on, week off kind of deal, and I'll hopefully be able to record this next one, this next part on July 8th, is the plan. So, yes, Night Palace Part 1, very nice. Good variety, but still some familiar territory that we've tread before. Old water is what I said. But I'm very, very eager to finish out this whole thing and finish up the Phil discography that we have so far, and just kind of see what we got here on the horizon. So that is all I got, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Things to plug yet again: coffee.com/AlexHeitz, $1 a month access to voting in polls, and $5 a month access to the unedited reaction backlog at the moment. Also got to shout out the Discord, link in the description for that. Got about, I think, 200-ish members over there. Not super active over there, but I will post, like, you know, when I go live on Twitch and YouTube and things like that. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. That's all I got. Not a whole lot more to add. Been really, like I said, really enjoying the pin back reactions we've been doing on the live stream. So if you haven't seen those, go check them out. And yeah, one more video of this style for the foreseeable future. The end of an era that began in 2018, and it's almost 10 years later that I'm ending it. But we're not ending reactions, we're just changing how we're doing it. And I've been very blessed to have a steady viewership on this channel that has ebbed and flowed as my output has kind of gotten more and less frequent, but there's a good handful of you that have like weathered with me and watched all my stuff and show up in the live streams, and it means a lot, and I want you all to know that. So that is all I got, everyone. Until next time, take care, fare thee well, and Godspeed.